Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with
Okay, we're back. We're going to have a great show today. I'm back from a really great event. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Danny McMillan. His Seller Sessions live event was awesome. It was fantastic and just went off without a hitch. It was really great content. I learned a ton of stuff. But all right, on today's show, we'll be talking about global selling on Amazon. And our guest is a chartered accountant and former investment banker. He helped start Zee.co and heads up the sales and client success department. Zee.co is an importer of record, compliance, and logistics specialist for e-com sellers. So we'll be welcoming Rael Lowenthal in just a couple of seconds. But just wanted to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Global Wired Advisors, a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business sales process. For more information, please call Chris Schifferling and his team over at globalwiredadvisors.com. But before, Kelsey, come on in here for a second.
All right. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
Kelsey.
here.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a shout out as well to AMZ Elite. You're an awesome guy, Tom. Tom picked me up at the airport and was way out of his way, dropped me off in London, and it was fantastic. We had a great chat in the car, and it was just super. I learned a lot from you, Tom. Anyways, just wanted to thank you. It's not too many people that would drive me around, but thanks. Okay, and you know what? He didn't even want to go for a cup of coffee. He didn't have, I guess he couldn't have time. He couldn't find parking. But anyways, I wanted to go out for a cup of coffee with him because he just really went out of his way, Kelsey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you also met up with Simon and Abu.
Oh, well, we won't talk about that. Shh. That's all. Okay. So, all right. I met up with Simon. No, Simon was awesome too. I've got a few scandalous photos of him, especially later on in the night. But no, you know what? This is why I love traveling. The networking that came out of Danny's event was incredible. I met a ton of people. I've probably met some people that I know people will be coming on to the podcast, but also people that will do some business with. So really, really, I can't tell you how important it is to go out to live events. You can go to a virtual summit, and you'll learn lots, but actually breaking bread with people. We went out with 11 people, and just before the club, and we didn't talk. There wasn't one piece of business discussed, not a sliver. We were talking about some really just things to do in Europe and all this other stuff, and got to know people. And I think that's my phone. There we go.
Oh, well, we can't hear it, so that's okay. But it sounds like a great trip you had there.
It was.
It's very nice to have you back. I know you were probably there and back within 72 hours, so that's impressive.
48.
48? Hey, not
Yep.
bad. All right, but we'll jump into things shortly. I just want to let everyone know to smash those like buttons, get those thumbs up going on Facebook and YouTube. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you're heading out to any other events, Beer Nation, let us know in the comments. What are you looking forward to next? I know the seller meetup with Amy Weiss is happening October 15th, and there's a couple other ones that are around the corner as well. But let us know. Also, let me see. If you're new to the show, we go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So we do giveaways every time, which we have one today, and something for everyone as well. So that's awesome. And we can just jump into things. Join our Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and E-commerce Collective. And yeah, that's it for me.
And that giveaway for everybody is a virtual hug from Kelsey.
Yeah, it's priceless.
It is priceless. So yeah, we'll tell you how to get that and claim your virtual hug towards the end of the episode. But joking. All right. So just throw your comments over into the comment section if you have any questions or anything. If you want a virtual hug from Kelsey, he will provide it today. And so I think we can sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the episode. How are you, sir?
Norm, hi. It's good to be here.
I hope you're not too serious because this is a very casual show.
Listen, we're serious about what we do, but there's people in the background, and we know how to have fun too. We're actually currently in Germany for the White Label Expo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know a few people that left Danny's seller sessions and went over there. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see how that's going. Okay, so for those of us who don't know you, and could you tell us a little about yourself and a bit about your company?
Great, sure. So first of all, hello to all the listeners, and thank you, Norm, for having us today. A little bit of background about myself. I'm a chartered accountant. That's what I studied, at least. I had some experience in investment banking, working for a bank that was actually started in South Africa, but also spent some time in their UK office. I joined our parent company, the VATIT Group, to start what is known as Zee, our e-commerce importer of record business. A little bit about us. Essentially, we're an importer of record specialist that focuses on assisting e-commerce businesses expand their global reach. So essentially to enable sellers to sell outside of their local marketplace. But I think we'll get into a little bit more of the detail at a later stage.
Okay, very good. So usually I forget about this, but I don't know why, but today I'm a little bit on the ball. You've got a giveaway. Like a really great giveaway, as well as something for everybody. Can we talk about that for a second?
Absolutely. So for your listeners that are on today and who have e-commerce businesses, if they inquire on our website and they let us know that they heard about us through the Lunch with Norm podcast, they will be entitled to a $250 credit on their first transaction with us.
Very good. And what does the winner of the giveaway, the Wheel of Kelsey, today win?
The Wheel of Kelsey today wins a $500 credit with us. So there'll be one really lucky listener who may be entitled to $750.
All right.
Off of their,
so that's
their
fantastic.
transaction.
Okay, and we'll be doing that at the end of the episode. And to register for that, it's just hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. If you'd like to enter twice, it's just tag two people, either on the channel or off the channel. Okay, so let's get into this. A lot of people have never heard, well, there's an acronym, IOR. Let's get into that. What is it? Tell us about it. Is it the good, the bad, the ugly of what, the importer of record is? I stole your thunder. Sorry.
No. I smile because it's what gets me up and excited every day. So I love talking about it. I love sharing my knowledge on it. So essentially, we're an importer of record, and I think for the benefit of your listeners, how that fits in e-commerce and Amazon FBA specifically, Amazon, will assist sellers with pretty much or a lot of the supply chain, logistics, VAT compliance, marketing, all of those things. But they will not assist with customs clearance and customs compliance, especially when selling into a market outside of your local marketplace. So that's essentially the niche that Zee is filling. We act as an importer of record on behalf of sellers who are looking to expand their e-commerce business outside of their local marketplace. The best way to kind of explain what that means is, by way of an example. So let's say, Norm, you're a seller based in the USA, and now you've got a profitable product in that market, and now it's you start looking at different levers of growth for your business, and one of them being a new marketplace. So let's say United Kingdom is first on your list. Zee will take on the customs liability of your import. As a foreign importer, that is what customs require, and essentially, that in short, that's what we'll do. But I think later on into the podcast, we'll get into a little bit more detail of how it actually works.
Okay, yeah, very good. So when you're talking about going into countries, are there, like for your company, let's talk about that for a second. Is it strictly the EU and the UK, or can you go all over the world?
We can go all over the world. We can go into any major Amazon marketplace globally.
Oh, that's great because there are some real issues getting into some marketplaces because you don't have the importer of record. So being able, and there are other companies out there that do what you do, correct?
They are not the same way that we can do it, but
Okay,
there are.
but I just want to know that there are. So, like, one of the things that we try to do is just, we'll zone in, we'll talk about some of the stuff that your company does, but we also want to give whoever out there the opportunity that it's just not your company. But there are people out there that do this, and we'll get into some of the differences about how you do it and why it's important to do it the way that you are doing it. So you cover all of Amazon's all the global market. Do you also cover more countries because you're not only doing Amazon, you're doing e-commerce, right?
Yeah, so I think maybe let's take a step back. So
Yep.
the importer of record business, within the group, focuses on various different industries. The technology industry, the medical industry, and e-commerce. We have a network or an infrastructure that can support imports into over 200 destinations worldwide. The need for e-commerce really focuses on those markets that are sort of more e-commerce focused or have more of an e-commerce market. I think for the benefit of today's discussion, I think it's better to focus on the major Amazon marketplaces, but also the sort of more popular e-commerce destinations in the world. So just if I had to list them out, that would be Canada, the US, United Kingdom, Germany, all of Amazon's pan-European program countries outside of Germany. So that's Italy, Spain, France, Czech Republic, and Poland. Australia, we support Japan, Singapore, and Mexico.
All right, very good. I'm just looking at the group we have on. So anybody who has had problems with importing, like Jessica or Simon or Rad, Tom, there's a bunch of you on here. Any good, bad, or ugly comments about it? Marcia, you must have done a ton of importing. Just if you could just let us know in the comments section, do you have any good experiences, bad experience, or just straight out ugly experiences? I have. But all right. So let's take a look. Why should sellers even look at other marketplaces?
That's a great question. So, what we've learned in this business is that if you have a profitable product in your local market, there isn't really any reason why you shouldn't be profitable in another market. People sort of think that different countries are very different. While they might be culturally different or have different ethnicity, people are pretty much 95% the same. They want the same things, they want to purchase the same things, they want convenience. And we believe, and what we've learned is that why shouldn't you be successful in another market? And we really make the transition of getting a successful product or even a new product into a new market really simple and easy through a combined importer of record, product compliance, and logistics solution.
I was at a conference, it's probably 3 years now, but it was in Israel, and I was talking to Tomer Rabinovich. It was his Top Dog event, which was excellent. Anyways, a lot of European sellers there, and what got my attention was most of those sellers did not sell on .com, and there were some $1 million sellers there that or more. One guy just exited with an 8-figure exit. This is way before he's probably kicking himself now because of the multiples nowadays. But the answer that shocked me was they weren't selling in .com, that it was too competitive, that they wanted to compete in Europe. And I sat there going, that would not have been my strategy. Luckily, I went to this conference to hear what they were saying. And there's money on the table in these other places. Like it's .com is extremely competitive. Based on what you've seen, the competitiveness in the different markets, where would you tackle?
So I think, I want to take a kind of look at your perspective, Norm, being based in Canada or the US, where you really are close to the US market. I think you've got a huge benefit, right? You've got the largest Amazon marketplace in the world, and you have a very large population that shops using e-commerce platforms. So, naturally, if you're based in the US, our advice, because it's an English-speaking country, our advice is always to look at the UK. It's the next, most obvious option. Why? It's the second biggest marketplace in the world. You don't need to translate your listing or labels. It's the most simple in terms of your language. And then, once you've sort of tackled the UK, Europe is sort of next on the list. And then if you're looking to expand outside of those, those two markets, the next sort of obvious place is Canada if you're not doing FBA in Canada. If you're looking at Australia, also English speaking. Japan, a little bit more complex, but if you're interested, it's definitely something we can do. So does that answer your question? I think, in terms of looking at growth levers for a business, there's new products or new markets. We really are the new markets lever for you.
And what can people expect? Like, what's your roles and responsibility as the importer of record?
Great. So a customer will come to us and they say, I'm just going to give an example. I feel like that's always the easiest way to make it practical. They sell iPhone covers in the US. They're really good at that. And now they want to start selling in the UK. That's a typical case study of ours. So they'll come to us and say, look, we want to start selling in the UK. The first step in getting to start selling in the UK is a VAT registration as well as an EORI application. So that gives you the right as a US seller to start selling in the UK. It doesn't give you the ability to actually start importing. So once the seller is set up with a VAT registration, that can be done through Amazon VAT services or various other providers. We actually have a sister company within the group that can help. The next step now is to start actually importing. So you'll tell us what your product is. It's an iPhone cover. Our product compliance team will identify any type of product-specific compliance required for the United Kingdom to make sure that those products are compliant with local laws and regulations. We won't necessarily apply or do any of the product compliance, but we'll help you identify it and point you in the right direction as to where where you need to go. So, for an example, if it was electronic products, you'd need an authorized or responsible person in the UK. There's also a thing called the WEEE directive when it comes to recycling electronic products, so that you can see there's various product compliance necessary for different types of products. We'll help you identify that. Once we have that in place, once we've gotten all the necessary documents or compliance information from you, the next thing would be you tell us, okay, we want to ship 100 iPhone covers in a box with this dimensions and this weight. We provide a quote for you. We have partnerships with various courier services, the likes of FedEx, DHL, and UPS, where we can facilitate the international movement of your goods. One of the big benefits of using us is the fact that we do, pretty much thousands of shipments on an annual basis, and because of that, we have really highly discounted freight rates with them. So we'll pass that on as a benefit to our clients. Once that's sorted, you'll give us the shipping information. We'll provide you with all the customs documentation, the commercial invoice, the airway bill for the travel. We'll give that to you. You'll attach that to your boxes, and then the rest of the process is really taken care of by us. We track your shipment. We pay over the duties and taxes once the goods arrive in country. We track the final delivery to the Amazon facility.
So I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do this on their own, but it's a pain, especially the compliance side. I'm curious about, so I sell soap. In the US, I can be very generic, like lavender oils or essential oils, hemp oil, olive oil. In Canada, it's got to be the scientific terms, and it's a completely different way of labeling. Matter of fact, I'm suspended on a couple of mine because I tried to put the simple labeling on my bars of soap. But, and you know why? This is just, I'm going down a different rabbit hole, because I have a natural soap, but if I have to use Latin, people don't think it's natural, so they complain. But anyways, okay, so now let's get back on topic. What about labels? So going into the UK or going into France or Germany, everybody has different compliance when it comes to labels, especially with beauty products or supplements. Yeah. But like in my game, it's beauty products. Do you handle that as well?
So once again, we don't necessarily do the product compliance ourselves. We'll identify, okay, so let's say, Norm, you want to send lavender soap into the UK. Our product compliance team team of professionals will gain a complete and holistic understanding of what the product compliance is. So be it labels, be it certificates that we need, be it testing, testing certificates, anything like that. We'll point you in the direction. We'll say, Norm, we need this, this, and this for your products. Your products need to say this on your labels. Please go and get that done. Once that's done on your side, we'll be, you'll send us pictures. We'll make sure that everything's in place, and then we'll be ready to start importing for you. It sounds pretty simple. It can get laborious at times. It's not always so easy. But with a team like ours on your side, we will really handhold you and make sure that we can get everything in place before we start importing for you.
Oh, very good. Hey, I just noticed in some of the comments there was Abu was just making a comment, and we again, here it goes to networking. We were sitting side by side, well, in between Howard Ty, but I just wanted to give a shout out to him as well. It was really great meeting you over in London. Also, great giveaway today. $250 to anybody who wants to have a credit. To us, everybody that wants a credit for a shipment, contact Zee.co afterwards. But the winner is going to win a $500 credit, which equals $750 if they apply both. So it's a great credit. It's going to be hashtag Wheel of Kelsey. You like what you hear today? Remember to smash those like buttons, subscribe, do whatever you have to do. Kelsey's going to remind you at the end too. All right, let's talk about VAT. VAT registrations and all that fun stuff. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but you've got VAT and you've got EORI, E-O-R-I.
Correct.
Yeah,
EORI,
let's talk about that. How tough is it?
So, look, Amazon have providers that they've white labeled the solution for, which will assist you in getting your VAT registration and EORI application in place. It's the cheapest you'll find in the market for e-commerce. I suppose the one drawback of that service is that the actual customer service is with the feedback that we've had from our sellers is that the actual customer service is not so great. How that applies to our business, we don't do the actual VAT registration and EORI application on your behalf. What we do, which is, I think, really, really important for sellers and something very important for them to understand, we prepare the import documentation in a way that enables the seller to reclaim the import VAT that we paid over on their behalf as a claim against their sales VAT when they actually start selling the goods. So that, I don't want to get into too much technical detail about how the VAT system works, but it's something that sellers who sell into VAT compliant countries need to understand, need to know. And the important part for them is that they will be able to get that back, and that that plays a really big part in the type of margins that you're looking to get when you sell in that country. If you don't get that back in Germany, that's 19%. In the UK, that's 20%. In France, it's 21%. So it's a very important part of the service that we provide. It's something that really sets us apart from some of our competitors. Again, I don't want to get into the technical details about VAT, but anyone that we speak to, any seller that's looking to get into a new market, we will make sure that documentation is prepared correctly. They can provide the customs clearance documents to their VAT accountants, and they will use that as the mechanism to reclaim against the sales VAT that they make in that destination country.
So I know in the U.S., it's a bit more of a surprise to me, like being in Canada and selling into the Canadian market. I don't really sell in the Canadian market right now because my product, it doesn't make sense to do it here. But in the States, it's crazy with all the tax regulations and, having to register and submit all these tax forms, and it's costly. So I don't know about Europe. Is it costly over there to, once you're set up with VAT and you have to register and submit, how much do people have to pay for this sort of service?
Again, Amazon offer the service through various providers that they've white labeled. That is cheap. Their registration is about $250, and then the ongoing compliance, it differs from provider to provider. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more bespoke and that will talk to a client service aspect, we have a sister company within our group that can really do that and give you the kind of hand-holding service that you need. So, but look, it'll always be more expensive than Amazon. Amazon have pushed their providers almost to nothing.
Right. Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess the next thing is to get started with this. What do people need to provide to a company like yours so they can get set up? Actually, I'm going to back up one. Do you recommend, no bias, of course, but do you recommend people going to a company like yours, trying to, have you take the headache, or trying to do it on themselves,
So
or take this on themselves?
Norm, you're an e-commerce entrepreneur. You know that you want to focus on growing your top line and growing your margins. That's really what you want to focus on. You want to focus on sourcing products, building your brand. That's what you love. You don't love administrative headache and logistics headache, and that's the headache we take away from sellers. So we know that sellers are good at selling what they sell. We want to be, the chosen provider for facilitating successful importations into new destinations in a tax efficient manner. And one step further than that, we are, our best case study clients have been clients who have been selling all over the world, and they've got, let's say, 8 or 9 different suppliers in each country helping them with the imports. When they found Zee, they had one point of contact that they could have for the entire global distribution of their inventory. So, and again, as an e-commerce entrepreneur, you'll agree with me on this. Simplifying your supply chain is a integral part in running a successful business. Having one person you speak to, a professional on the other end, that can assist you with all of those destinations, I think is a really, really big value add. And on top of that, you can save costs on our discounted freight rates. So the simple answer, yes, I would definitely recommend e-commerce sellers finding a provider like us, but not only like us, actually us, because I do believe that we've packaged it in the right way.
What information would you require from a seller?
So to start the process, they'll make an inquiry with us. One of our sort of specialist consultants will reach out. They'll get an understanding of the seller's business. The first bit of information we'll need is product and logistics information, so package information for a typical shipment or a test shipment that they'd like to do with us. Once we've got that on hand, we can prepare a cost estimate. We'll take them through the cost estimate, get them to the point where they say, right, we're happy to go ahead. Once they're happy to go ahead, we get a client agreement in place. There's no cancellation penalties, there's no sign-on fees. It's just an agreement that allows us to actually act as the importer of record. Once that's in place, we'll get a full list of the products that the client is looking to ship. And that's when we start with all the product compliance work and the classification of the HS codes, making sure that we can forecast accurately the duties and taxes that will become payable once the goods arrive in country. Once we've got all of that in place, we're pretty much ready to ship. The client will then confirm with the client, what is the actual products, what is the shipping information. Once that's all confirmed and ready to go, we'll arrange the pickup. I think something that's important to mention at this stage, there will be sellers out there that don't necessarily want to use air freight. That's not a problem for us. We do have some in-house sea freight options, but we do understand that sellers, have established relationships with freight forwarders that they may want to use themselves. So we will work with the seller's chosen freight forwarder if they want to use sea or road freight. And then we'll appoint a specialized broker in the destination country to perform the customs clearance. And again, we do all the product, identify all the product compliance, prepare all the customs documentation, submit that to our broker once the goods arrive in country, and then the client's freight forwarder can make the final delivery.
Okay, very good. And what about the size? Is there a certain size of seller or product SKUs that should be there before they contact a company like yours?
I love this question, Norm. I think it's probably my favorite one to answer. This is the thing that gets me most excited about the job is really getting a feel for the type of clients that we have. So to put it quite simply, we have clients all the way from, one guy who's selling a couple of pet toothbrushes in the US. He's, got a successful product, and now he wants to send a couple boxes to the UK, all the way up to Amazon aggregators with 20, 30 brands under their umbrella that we're helping expand into new destinations. So simple answer is there's no real requirement. It's just, if you've got successful products in your local market, let's help you make those products successful in new markets.
Okay, great. All right. I guess there's a few questions here, but I've just got a couple more. And
Sure.
first, before I just want to clarify this, we do not have any deal going with Z.co. Like, there's not an affiliate link. There's not anything. When you guys reached out, we thought it was an interesting topic. So we're talking about your company right now, and what I don't want people to think is that we're doing this because there's some sort of affiliate. There's not. So I made it clear. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between Zee and other freight forwarders. I think that would be an interesting question.
Sure. And sorry, just to comment on your previous comment, Norm, I would love the opportunity for you to test our service to give your listeners more credibility. You're not at all. It's not an affiliate or anything like that. You've given us an incredible platform to talk about our service, and we're incredibly grateful for that. But like I say, would really welcome the opportunity to help you and your e-commerce business expand.
Well, maybe I'll enter for the draw of a wheel of Kelsey today, and I won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get a discount on the first.
There we go.
Yeah, it works for everybody. Okay, just to answer your question about the freight forwarder. So the difference. So we're not a freight forwarder. Our business is importer of record specialist with a value-added logistics solution. A freight forwarder is there for transporting your goods internationally. So they will do the international leg and the local delivery leg. Most freight forwarders. There will be different providers that do the international leg and the local delivery leg. And again, their focus really is just on logistics. They don't help you with product compliance. They won't act as your importer. They'll just help you get your goods from A to B. The difference with us is we really specialize in the local entity with a physical presence to take on that customs liability, being an importer of record. We assist with compliance and we assist with customs clearance. And like I alluded to earlier, we do have a value-added logistics solution via sea and via air that we can offer as well.
Okay, great. One last question. So again, talking about Zee, but can Zee act as the importer of record when, let's say, a seller wants to use another freight forwarder?
Yes, definitely. So when it comes to air freight, that's not a possibility. And to be honest with you, there's more benefit in using our air freight solution than not. The reason being because of those discounted rates, because of our volumes. We've aggregated all of our sellers' volumes into into various companies, and through that we get discounted rates. If the client wants to use their own freight forwarder via sea or via road, not a problem. We have a global network of customs brokers that will clear shipments, once the goods actually arrive at the ports or at the borders. And obviously, again, like I said, we prepare all the customs documentation and submit that directly to the broker, and we pay over the duties and taxes on the customs behalf. And obviously ensure that they are able to facilitate that VAT reclaim in countries where VAT is applicable.
Very good. All right, Squire, are there any questions?
Bringing that nickname back up, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, we do have some questions. Just give me a second.
Or comments.
Let me see. So, we asked the audience if anyone's been using importer record. And Jessica says she hasn't yet. She's in the USA only now, but plans to be in Europe within a few months.
Looking forward to chatting to Jessica about that.
And then Simon's saying he's moving product from UK to Amazon EU is a challenge. Brexit has caused it to become an almost impossible option.
Not with us.
Is that how you spell that, by the way? I thought it was spelled differently.
All right. Our first question is from Jessica Rabbit. Does each country post a list of products that require compliance/certification and list for banned substance in food, beauty products, pet food, for example? If so, where are they posted?
I think that's a very, very wide question and very general question. There may be some countries that have a Chamber of Commerce website or trade website where they do list some of this information. I think we've built up an incredible database of banned substances, compliance requirements, across various product types. I think it's important, for everyone to understand that Amazon sell 45 million different products globally, different SKUs all around the world. So every single day for the rest of this business's life, we will see a product we haven't seen before, but that doesn't scare us, and that's not a problem. Our team of professionals really can assist with pretty much anything.
Very good.
Okay, our next one is from Simon. Just a second. All right. He is asking, as an IOR agent, do you need a deposit made to an escrow?
No. Like I say, practically how it works, we will invoice our sellers upfront before the goods arrive in customs, just to make sure that the reason we do that is not because we don't trust our clients not to pay. It's because we will be invoiced for the duties and taxes once the shipment actually clears. So we need to make sure that we don't fund our client the gap in the payment for duties and taxes. So we need to make sure that the clients on a per shipment basis the duties and taxes amount reflects, and then we pay that over to customs on their behalf.
Okay, great. And our last question, it looks like, is from Simon. I guess VAT registration is a real pain. It is not cheap, and then you need to file it every month, and that is expensive. So he's asking, how does adding more costs grow your margins?
So I think it's to take a step back. The VAT registration and compliance process, and I'm going to just talk about the UK and EU because it's where it's really the most applicable. What triggers a VAT registration is storing goods in that country. That's actually why you have to register for VAT. So using Amazon FBA by its nature means you're going to be storing goods in those countries. When I spoke about adding to your margins, what I mean by that is not necessarily the registration and ongoing compliance of VAT. That is a cost, and it's not something you can't really get away from it. What's important is that there will be import VAT that we have to pay over on a seller's behalf, and the VAT laws give you the mechanism to reclaim it, meaning to set it off against the sales VAT that you owe the local government. And if you don't get that set off, then you will lose out on margin. So our service is to prepare the documentation in a way that facilitates that reclaim.
All right.
Okay, and let me see. We just got this one in from AMZ Elite. Simon, I've got an email from Alan. They will reinstate EFN in a few weeks, and I think they'll also bring back UPS export option to FC in the EU. So that's more of a comment. But okay, so that's it for questions so far. And
all right. Oh, by the way, with AMZ, so Tom, please send me a copy of that picture we took. Just wanted to put it out there. Okay, now we can move on. I think it is that time for Wheel of Kelsey. Is that correct?
That's right. So here we go. It's Wheel of Kelsey time, and enjoy, everyone.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Okay.
All right. It's everyone's favorite time, the Wheel of Kelsey. So this is for the $500 credit for Zee. I'm just going to shuffle up these names. And here we go. If you are the winner, please email me at k@lunchwithnorm.com. 3, 2, 1.
And it really is more like 750.
Exactly. It's with the 250 available for everyone.
Oh my gosh, there we go.
Tom again.
Tom, oh my God. This reel, the wheel is rigged. It should be rigged of Kelsey.
I have no control over this. All right, Tom, you won again. So congratulations. There is a $250 credit available for everyone. Just contact Zee. The website is zee.co.
I'd also, Kelsey, sorry, I'd also like to open it up to my personal email address. Whoever wants to is listening today, they can contact me on my personal email. It's Rael, Raell @zee.co. And I'll point you in the right direction as to where you can go. So either you can inquire through our website or you can send me a personal email.
All right. Well,
okay.
Now I know you're over at the White Label Expo right now. So you've taken some time and shared your time with us today. We really appreciate it. There's some great information here that I learned a bit of information. I'm sure the listeners did, and just really appreciate meeting you and sharing your time today. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Norm, and really thanks very much to the listeners. We really appreciate being here, and we hope to hear from them very soon.
All right, very good. Well, we'll talk to you soon, and again, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. This was definitely a topic that you don't usually hear on, just everybody talking about. So it's very important that you understand this topic, about import of record, compliance, what they can do, what they don't do. So anyways, just thank you so much for Zee.co for coming on and talking about, what exactly they do. Now, I have got a special treat lined up you got to listen to this podcast. One of my favorite ladies that I've had the pleasure of talking to a few times, and we just kind of hit it off. She's been on The Apprentice. She is, one of her organization is called Power Chick Mafia. So you have to do about $10 million in sales to be part of this. And she's incredible. She's got, combined with her partner, she's sold over $1 billion in t-shirts. She's got a huge sticker company, which she started off in the industry. Andrea Lake, I love her. She's awesome. I can't wait to talk to her. I'm going to just sit back and let her talk, but the amount of knowledge she's going to bring about branding and business and entrepreneurship is going to be incredible. So please watch us on Wednesday. It's going to be fantastic. All right. And the other thing, I got to give a shout out to Sellerize. As you saw, Sellerize is a new sponsor for the podcast. And so Sellerize is a comprehensive solution for your every business need. It's everything you need to grow and scale your Amazon business, and it's all just in one click. So for more information, please contact Dima and his team over at sellerize.com. And I just want to say that Sellerize is with one R. It's just SELLERISE.com. All right, Kelsey.
All right. Thank you.
Boy Wonder. See, I didn't say Squire this time.
Yes, thank you. You just did. So,
Squire.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching today's episode. Of course, if you are interested in joining our Lunch with Norm family, our Beer Nation, as we like to call it, go over to our Lunch with Norm Facebook group. That's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA and e-commerce collective, and be part of the group. And also, if you're interested in our paid services, that is our membership program that we have. You can join that at lunchwithnorm.com and just click on the membership area. There's about 3 different tiers. There's one $3, just buying us a cup of coffee for the month. And then it goes all the way up to a tier where you can get Q&A sessions with me and Norm multiple times a month, along with guest lessons. So we just had Amy Weiss on, and we got to pick her brain for about an hour and a half. And it was just crazy. It was a great session, and we learned a lot. And we really thank Amy for doing that for us. As also, just want to mention the seller meetup is happening October 15th. So please, you can go over to sellermeetup.com for the Q4 Mastery marketing event and a meetup with Norm. Norm will be in Austin there, along with a couple others. And I think that's
There's
about
a ton.
A ton, yeah. Yeah, we have Brian Johnson, Liza Monet Morales, and Tim Jordan all are going to be there. So I think that's it from me, unless there's anything from you as you're coughing.
Well, if his brother did his job, the newsletter should be out. But I doubt, because it's Thanksgiving today and he's on his way home to Montreal. So he's not going to get paid this week. But if you are interested in seeing the newsletter and receiving, it's all content. It's just content, more content. Just go to Lunch with Norm or over to normfarrar.com and subscribe to the newsletter. And I think that's about it for today. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming on. I wanted to wish all the Canadians a happy Thanksgiving. So we're in October, not in November. And So hopefully you enjoy your turkey meal tonight or today, and join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And like always, thank you for joining the episode today. Thanks to community for being the community. We really couldn't do it without you. So thank you, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Lunch with the